Coach, from what I've seen out there, it seems like you have a pretty depleted room going through practice right now. I guess, how do you feel that this spring has gone so far for your group?
We're building depth. We're building depth and value with the guys that are healthy right now and are doing it. They're getting a lot of valuable snaps that usually would be kind of spread out, and so a lot of guys are getting more snaps than normal, which is really good for our room.
Anybody stood out during that time from the younger guys?
Harvey and Charles Esters are having a very solid spring practice. Amir is doing some good things. Dylan as well, and then the young guys are in a learning process.
And I guess speaking about Amir, I know that he transferred from up the middle to your room last year for the bowl, correct? And then
Correct.
I guess how has he looked since then, and what's his development?
Yeah, he's making strides. He's still learning the position. So this time during spring has been very beneficial for him.
For him to flash what he did in the bowl game, I guess, what did that mean for him going forward?
It probably made him hungry. That's just a start, though. What he did last year was last year. This year's a whole new year. So we'll see how things go.
And what are some of the things that you need him to develop during this time in the spring?
Everything. Against the run, against the pass, playbook, effort, all of the above, just like everybody else.
How's the process been like with Case and Long switching over positions for you?
It's been fun. He's Kaysen doesn't have a bad day. So he's just so eager to learn. When you get somebody in your room that's just willing to do whatever, he just wants to play ball. It's real exciting for me as a coach, but also he's a good person to have in our room.
And you kind of mentioned it a little bit, but because you guys are a little bit depleted, how beneficial do you think that's going to be for your group as a whole to have some more depth coming from this spring?
Yeah, it's great. We had a meeting this morning just to talk about where we see our guys, and our guys right now, the overall depth is going to be pretty solid. Each one of those guys is going to have an opportunity to showcase what they can do, and then we'll just build off of that.
Anybody of the younger guys that are kind of making a come up that you're excited about seeing moving forward?
Younger, like we keep hearing younger. Who's the younger guys?
Less experienced guys that are getting more of these reps right now.
Yeah, so like Isaiah Crawford was off to a good start. He was building off some things. Dylan's still considered young. He came in with the same class, so he was building up on confidence, and he's playing faster. The great thing about it is that everybody in my room besides Case and Long, this is their second or third year in the system. So you're starting to see guys play a lot faster, which is the general progression. So it's just fun seeing them not be able to think so much and just go play ball.
Coach, you talked about Harvey, you talked about Charles. Kind of dive into what you've seen out of them that is giving them a little bit more reps right now. Is it the tenacity? Is it the physicality? Kind of what is it that they're doing that you enjoy right now?
It's consistency. To see the progression of Charles Esters go from our first year to now, it's kind of a natural trend with playbook, playing fast, just like I said. It's he's just be able to play ball and play a lot faster, make quicker decisions. Harvey's the same way. It's his second or third year in the system as well. So they're starting to reap the benefits of that. And they just got to keep going. Just can't stay comfortable. That's the biggest thing.
With the conference bringing in some new opponents, the playoff format opening up a little bit, what are some expectations you have for yourself and then for your room?
We're just trying to go 1-0, man. I don't care who they brought in. I mean, it's all about us. It's all about my room, what we do well in our position group. That they continue to making strides, and that's it. We're competing against ourselves. We don't care less about everybody else.
Does it help to have a guy like Tyree kind of be out of your program for your room to look up to, maybe get hungry to be where he's at now?
Yeah, I mean, you had a guy that came in and to do the things he did in his first year, or his only year in our system, but really to lay the foundation of this is what it takes to get to where y'all want to go. Is huge. And then to have Miles going through the same process right now, I mean, if you're not anybody on the team or one of my guys making them more hungry for that, then you shouldn't be here.
Who are you looking for leadership-wise this season for that room?
Whoever will step up. I think Joe has the most not ability, but the most playing time, with us. But any one of those guys right now, we're just looking for guys who do it the right way. It could be more than one leader to do it. You know, it's just one mindset, and everybody just has to embrace that.
Coach, obviously a lot of turnover in your room this year.
Yes.
What's this going like without J Boog and Tony?
We knew this day would come. Those guys are going to be here and play a lot of ball and a lot of leadership that left. What you see is going to be it's a really, really deep group. Just the strides that guys are making, talking about a lot of leadership, putting those roles into guys that you need to step up and be a leader not only for our room but for the team. Just really like the growth of the unit as a whole at this point.
And I guess some of those guys that have been in your system before, like
Yeah.
Buda and Quincy, I guess,
Yeah.
have they grown and played a little faster during this time?
Yeah, you just look at it and then you start thinking about just year 3 now for us here. Just seeing Duda from the first day we got here to now, I mean, it's unbelievable. And you just need to keep taking strides. We talk about getting 1% better, and you definitely see him, that out of him. He's switching his number to 8 next year. And I think I just see him just growing, and just developing, not only as a player, but as a leader in the room. Quincy, it was called, he's playing probably his best ball, but our whole standpoint is like just keep taking the proper steps. So when we line up in the fall, we're the unit that we want to be.
And I guess Trayvon McAlpine, he's really
Yeah.
stood out to me during the individual reps
Yeah.
that I've seen. Has he
Yeah.
translated that into live reps? And I guess what is his growth
Yeah,
been like?
those are things that we're working on, taking things that we do on the drills and using those things and doing it on the field. Trey is, is a very explosive kid, He's everything that we thought when, we brought him here. What I like about Trey is Trey really doesn't understand it, and me getting him to understand the player he can be. And he's taking strides, don't get me wrong. He's been going with the 1s, 2s, and keeping that group rotating a lot.
Last one for me, I guess.
Mhm.
What have you seen from Braylon Carroll? I know that you guys
Yeah.
were pretty excited about bringing him in.
Oh, yeah.
I guess what's he done to the
Well,
so far?
bring some maturity. It got him, again, played a lot of snaps, bringing that maturity to the room, learning our system, learning new techniques. But what I love about that kid, he brings an attitude to the group, too. Been knowing him for a long time, from high school and, from the process, from, him being at Dunkerville and stuff like that. And I'm glad that we got him. He's going to be really good for us. Also, James, he brings that to the room, too. Older guy, married, bringing that, where these young guys, they can see, hey, I'm going to play video games. He's going home to his wife like the coaches.
What's kind of the difference between what guys like Tony and Jalen brought to the guys that you have now? Is it kind of a similar process, a different process, same result sort of thing?
I think the guys, when you look at our younger guys, I think, you look at their size and you see, the athletes that these guys are. When you talk about Braylon Rigsby, Trayvon McAlpine, Cofield, what I'm liking is that, you're going to see those guys and we want them to have the mindset of a J Boog and a Tony. But these kids, I mean, these kids look, they happy to be here, but they bring something different to the table and how you can use those guys.
Who are you kind of looking to kind of step up into that leadership, the voice of the room sort of?
I'm looking at it right now. When I address the leader, I'm not just trying to address it to a certain person. I want the group to be the leaders. We might have some talented young guys. I don't want them to feel like they need to take a step down and not be a leader because it's an older guy in the room. They're competing right now, and we got some young guys that's going to be in that rotation, and it's going to be exciting the rest of this spring, and it's going to be exciting fall camp.
Who are some of those young guys that you're kind of looking at?
Jalen Rigsby, Trayvon McAlpine, Jaden Cofield. Those guys, man, I could all see rotating, Cofield and those guys, they literally, every day I'm trying to switch, get guys used to rotating with different people, communicating with different people, but I'm excited about their growth. We just need to be consistent with it now.
What does that competition do for that room in the long run?
Oh, man, that's a great question. Like, when you have that room competing, it's our room is a lot about, toughness and grit and, being a true effort-based team, when the competition level is that high, you see guys keep taking it up a notch, and I think that's, I always tell people, if we're not good, we're not good. And we got to be good. So really excited about it. Really excited about it. They keep taking that 1% every day and keep striving to get better. Whatever that is, let's do that every day.
Coach, it kind of sounds like you have 6 or 7 guys that might be able to take snaps in the fall. I guess, do you feel like this is maybe as deep as a group as you've had since you've been here?
I feel like I love where we're trending. We just need to go to work. I think we did a lot of talking our first 2 years. I think we need to just go to work.
Coach, I know last season the quarterback run game got ahead of y'all on some of those games. Has there been any emphasis this offseason about speed, maybe closing in on the quarterback?
Well,
and what are you seeing out of your younger guys when it comes to
I would say quarterback run game, scrambles. That's what you mean?
Yes,
Yeah. I think that's we did a great job. Coach McGuire, he actually had us go back when we first came back in January and just go back over the games, and talk about just level rushing, talking about making sure our guys understanding just raw rush lanes. And us as coaches, it's not always on those kids. It's us as coaches that what can we do to help those? What are we doing? What can we do to improve those things? And I think that was one of the coolest things of, getting back and learning that. And him being a coach that let me and Coach CJ go spend time with Rob Marinelli. We go spend 12 hours with Rob Marinelli, and I swear him and his wife treated me like we've been knowing each other for 10 years. So, we always want to grow. And we're starting to see those improvements in spring ball.
I guess kind of going off that,
Yeah.
You were able to look at yourself last season, now
Yeah.
looking at yourself this season. Kind of what are some of those things you see that you can change, that you can improve on, or maybe that you want to keep going that you thought you did really well last season?
Yeah, just, you went back and you said, okay, listen, you finished third in sacks, top of third in sacks in our first year. We led it in sacks. Why the drop off? Is it Tyree? That's what people say. But it's always, you look at it and you say, to develop. And I think that's just, making sure our guys know this is what you can do, this is what you can't do, and working together to be successful. Having the guys know you have to do your 1-11 for us to be successful. And that's what we're going to do.
And then obviously across from you, competition-wise, is Clay McGuire. Can you
Yeah.
kind of talk about what you've seen from him, how
Great
much
coach.
challenge he's given you
Great
this
coach.
offseason, and where you feel he's
I think he brings. I love him. I mean, I think I've been quoted saying that so many times in the building. I think Clay comes from what I come from. Just toughness, grit, and some of the drills that that me and him are doing right now. I did every day at my previous university. So when you want a different mindset, and both of our sides of us seeing those, and man, it's fun. It's really cool when he's showing, and him and Cochran, they're getting together, and we're seeing plays that we're going to actually see during the course of the year. And every time that you have that chance, it's going to make you a better football team for both sides.
Everybody good?
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you
Thank
guys,
you,
man.
Coach.
Y'all go, man.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.